Hey, welcome back to this week's Safety Mile with Jak and Kyle.
I'm Kyle.
I'm Jak. We got Miss Hollie joining us this week. She's going to give us a little heads up from DM land down there. So we're going to talk about a few things. Kyle's going to talk a little bit about yard move. I'm going to talk a little bit about holiday driving. And, of course, we're going to get our birthdays, anniversaries in there as well. So why don't we go ahead and get started with those birthdays.
Yeah, guys, happy birthday. First off, we got our very own Danny Christian. So happy birthday, Danny.
Awesome.
Hope it's a great one. Hope it's the best one ever. We got Brianna Wilson as well, Wesley Simon, Wayne Bartran Jr., Leslie Curtis, Jesse Presley, Alejandro Mato, Arthur Smith Jr., Curtis Randall, Taryn Gwynn, Larry Brooks, Lester Grayson, all in blue, Stanley Bolden, William Burton, Renee Scott, Randy Ford, Daryl Watson, and Anthony Sotelo. Happy birthday, all you guys. I hope it's a great one.
Yes, happy birthday. That's awesome. Okay, anniversaries, 1 year anniversaries. That's going to be William Chessup. I believe that's a second generation JCT driver there.
Yeah.
Mark McNeil, Shonda Alford Moore. Those are all 1 year anniversaries. Congratulations, guy. 2 year, Letitia Romo. 3 year, Devrick Ingram and Craig Torgensen. That's for your 3 year anniversary. 6 year anniversary, Tazir Haydar. 6 years, congratulations.
Right on.
11 years, James Mitchell Jr., and then 13 years. Wasn't this one of your guys for a little while?
Oh, he still is.
Oh, my. And he's a Browns fan on top of that.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. Okay, 13 year anniversary. That's going to be Sean Briley.
Wow.
That guy is a character.
I bet.
All right. Happy anniversary, guys. And Miss Hollie, what you got for us this week?
So I just have a couple of things to talk about. First thing is the San Bernardino yard. We have had a couple of issues recently with people parking in the wrong place, and so we just want to address that with you guys and just give you a quick reminder. When you're parking at the San Bernardino yard, you need to make sure that you're not parking your tractor in the trailer yard. So the trailers go in one lot, and then the tractors need to be moved across the street and parked in where the tractors go. So if you park where the trailers are, it makes things kind of difficult to move around. So we just want to make sure that you guys are not parking while attached to the trailers. If you need to take your break there or something, you just need to move your tractor across the street and stay there while you're on your break times.
Yeah, it makes it real difficult to get the trailers in and out of the truck to stay attached.
Yeah, absolutely. The next thing that I have is scaling our loads. We want to make sure that we're scaling our loads every single time we do a pickup. We want to make sure that you guys remember that we pay for your cat scales, so just make sure you use that Weigh My Truck cat scale app. Get those trucks weighed. If you have a weight issue, please make sure you're going back to the shipper. Sorry. Make sure you're going back to the shipper and have those reworks done, and make sure that you are hauling your loads legally and not overweight. Okay. Make sure that you guys have those load tickets we were talking about earlier. Just make sure that you pass off your scale tickets to the person if you have to do a swap or a repower, but please make sure you're also rescaling for your truck to make sure that your load is accurate for the truck that you have.
Yeah, you definitely on your scale ticket, you want your truck number and trailer number and all to match on your scale ticket.
Correct.
Definitely, yeah.
Right. And then the last thing that I have is just northern travel. So since we're heavy in the winter months now, we want to make sure that we're avoiding some areas. So let's talk about 90 in the middle. It's kind of how I do it in class. So 90 across the Dakotas and Montana. We want to make sure that we're avoiding this area, especially in the wintertime. It's very, it gets very treacherous, and we want to make sure that you guys are safe. So we want to make sure that we're always avoiding 90 in the middle. Okay.
Nobody out there to save you.
Yeah, no, you get in a dead zone. It's a dead zone. So we want to make sure that we're avoiding 90 in the Dakotas and Montana. All right. And then the next one is 80. 80 in the winter months gets very hairy sometimes. We do travel 80 in the winter months. Yeah. But we want to make sure that you guys have good open communication with your driver managers if you do have those northern loads that's going across 80. So just communicate. Make sure that you know, kind of keep weather aware what's going on with the weather across 80 if you do have those northern loads that go there. And then the very last one is 70 west of Denver. Okay, we want to avoid 70 west of Denver, actually year round. It's a very treacherous, mountainous road. We don't want our drivers on that road because it's not safe. And that's what we want to make sure that you guys are doing, is staying safe. So just make sure that if you do get those load assignments and your route lines do go across these routes, please make sure that you get with your driver managers and let us change your route lines to make sure that you're paid the right amount.
Awesome. Good stuff.
Right
Good
on.
stuff.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, no
All
problem.
right, Kyle, tell us a little bit about yard move there.
Yeah, guys. So yard move, as you guys probably know, is driving defined by the ELD mandate as on duty, not driving below a speed threshold of 4 miles per hour. Count them: 1, 2, 3, 4 miles per hour. If you go over that 4 mile per hour threshold, guess what? You're getting put into drive. So make sure you're being careful about using that, of course. Next thing is the requirement of a yard, as defined by the FMCSA, is that the vehicle cannot be operating on what is defined as a highway. Now, again, these are all like loose terminologies. A highway is not exactly just a highway. A highway is any roadway, public or private, that the public can operate a four-wheeled vehicle on that is not restricted by signs or gates. Okay, so for instance, likely at a shipper or receiver, you could possibly use a yard move if it is in fact restricted to public access. Typically it would be, right? However, let's say you're at a truck stop. Jack, would that be proper use of a yard move? Is it a public spot?
Public has access to the truck stop. You can see those four-wheelers drive through there, so yes, it's...
So it's not legal to use at a truck stop. I know it's something that we get confused about sometimes on there. You know, it seems like, hey, I'm just using yard move to go over to fuel up. However, you can't do that. It's not legal as defined by the FMCSA. You can get a violation if you use it that way. So just be careful about that. Just use your on duty. Use your drive time. You're only going to be saving yourself like what, 5, 10 minutes, 15 minutes maybe. Speaking of 15 minutes, right? So that's a pre-trip. You're supposed to be 15 minutes for a pre-trip, right? That's the length we're requiring. However, sometimes, as Tracy has told me in the log room, that we're using yard move for pre-trip time. Like we're counting that as part of the 15 minutes, or in fact sometimes the full 15 minutes. However, that's just impossible. You can't be moving and doing a pre-trip at the same time. It's literally called a yard move, and there's time for pre-trip. You can use those things separately. However, it can't be a full 15 minutes. You can't use that as your pre-trip time. You know, what are you doing? You're looking out your window while you're moving, checking your tires for the tread depth. Probably not, right?
Exactly. Checking air pressures while we're rolling.
Yeah.
Kind of hard to do.
Yeah, right. So again, just make sure you're using this stuff correctly. Don't be using yard move at a truck stop or any spot that is not restricted by signs or gates and is available to the public. And again, remember, full 15-minute pre-trip outside of any other on-duty status. You should be able to note that in your annotations, that this is a pre-trip time. And guys, that's going to be it for me. On to my main man, Jack Wallace over here.
All right, guys. I'm going to talk a little bit about driving the holidays. I want to reiterate something from last week.
Hollie days.
Hollie day. There we go. Ooh, good lead in.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, a little cheesy, but hey, I'm good for it.
Okay.
Okay. Driving the holidays, guys. A little bit I want to reiterate from last week when I mentioned after our salute to the veterans, I didn't mention the deer strikes. I wanted to mention that again.
Mm-hmm.
Deer strikes are increasing. We're seeing a lot of deer strikes, guys. Remember to hold your lane, slow down gradually, and don't swerve. If you must strike the animal, hit the animal. Do not swerve. We don't want the truck off in the ditch or in an accident with other vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
So slow down gradually and just do what you can, 2 hands on the wheel. If you do accrue damage from that, find a safe place to pull over, stop, check your damage, and then report that to the claims department as soon as possible using your TransFlow app.
Mm.
Okay, on to more holiday driving. Okay, things to watch for. 1, traffic is going to increase greatly. It's going to get crazy out there. We're going to have people driving unfamiliar cars, driving in unfamiliar areas, people missing exits, making erratic lane changes, stopping in the middle of the road to back up, to go back to their exits. Guys, expect the unexpected. Be ready, have good eye lead time, pay attention to what you're doing. This is not a time of year to get complacent. Also, remember to watch out for possible impaired drivers. Moving into the holiday season, you're going to have everybody out, Christmas parties, stuff going on. you're probably going to run into some impaired drivers at some point throughout the way. Just remember, about 10 o'clock in the evening, 2200, that's when we start seeing those kind of creep up a little bit. But it can happen at any time. So keep that in mind too. So be safe. Have good eye lead time. Pay attention to what you're doing. I know I'm kind of repeating that, but I can't say it enough. You got to be very space aware around your vehicle. And another thing, when you're doing your trip planning, if you're going to be traveling through a high traffic area, one of the larger cities, you might try to plan your trip to where you're hitting those cities at kind of off-peak hours. So not the busiest time of the day. You know, it's a little easier to get through. And keep in mind, everybody on the roadway is going to be in a super hurry, and they're going to leave late, try to get there early, and everybody's going to be in a bad mood. So, hey, be ready and be prepared for it. That's about it for this week on that. Guys, be safe out there. Happy holidays.
Yeah.
Get ready. Happy Thanksgiving here next week. We're ready for that.
Absolutely.
Went ahead and wore my Clark Griswold jersey. I'm ready.
Yeah.
Get all Griswold on everybody. Anything you want to add, Miss Hollie?
No, just be safe out there and communicate.
Amen.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much. See you
Appreciate
next week. Or not next week. Whenever we see you.